back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Tanya from Little Vintage Cottage, and today I have a fun project that I'm working on with a new tool that I've received. xTool has generously sent me a desktop laser cutter, a laser engraver, and a blade cutter. It's an all-in-one desktop tool, similar to a Cricut. It's larger than a Cricut and cuts and engraves more materials. For example, you can cut really thin wood. They sent me some 3mm basswood plywood sheets to play around with. You can cut leather, acrylic. You can engrave in stone, like stone coasters, wood coasters. I'm working on a gift for my daughter, and I will show you how I made that. So let me show you the xTool M1 laser cutter and engraver tool. Okay, this is the xTool M1 machine. I have it set up here in my craft room. The top opens up so you can watch the tool as it works, and it's got this tinted lid that protects your eyes. So this is what the inside looks like. This is your working surface. The little laser is in this part, and also the blade cutter. It has a vent hose that hooks up to the back of the machine, and then you vent it out a window if you're working in the house, or you can work in a shop or outside where there's better ventilation. And it comes with a bunch of these triangular prisms, and they go down into the bottom of the machine like this, and then your wood or acrylic would sit up on top of them, and that just raises it up so that the laser cutter can cut all the way through without causing any damage or having any problems from the base inside the machine. Let me show you some of the products that came with it. I received 2 each of the cutting mats for when you're using paper or fabric. This one is called the Light Grip, and these fit down into the bottom of the machine like this. They are sticky on both sides, so they will stick to the bottom of the machine, and then your paper or fabric sticks to the mat so that it doesn't move around when it's cutting. That would be for blade cutting. I also have the fabric, the pink one is a fabric grip. I received a box full of little samples to play around with. This has some 3mm plywood, and I also have another box that is full of the plywood, 3mm plywood sheets. You can see there's another color here in this bag. Some papers, different papers to try. This is self-adhesive vinyl. I could see some cute Halloween projects with that. This is a little piece of faux leather. And this package has some acrylic sheets, some craft paper sheets, and then this package has some leather, faux leather sheets, red, white, orange. Some, I believe this is just a package of cardstock type paper. This is a metal business card holder, and some metal business cards in different colors. This is a cell phone holder that I could engrave on. Some wood slices. You could make ornaments or coasters. These have some stone coasters that I can engrave. There's jewelry. Here's some more pendants. This would be like for a cat's ID tag. There's a little heart, a dog tag. There is You can do some things with a canvas bag they sent me. Probably iron-on. Could cut some iron-on stuff, a lot like a Cricut. I received a whole bunch of wood tags. So there's just all kinds of options for things that you can do with this machine. So I'm going to play around with it and see what I can come up with. The xTool comes with its own creative software, kind of like the Cricut. It's called xTool Creative Space, and so I'm just going to open that, and then first thing I need to do is connect my device. So it has a USB, and I just plug it into my computer. And then connect device. You also have Wi-Fi options. And then it'll automatically connect if your machine is on. If your machine is not on, then you'll need to select it. A little window will come up. So this is an image of the piece of wood that I already have in there, and this is the bottom of the machine. It has a camera in it. So I think this is really cool because you can see exactly what you're doing. So let me open up my image. So this is my design that I'm going to be cutting out, and you can see exactly where you have it on the wood. So see, the letters are going off the edge, so I'm just going to move it down a little bit. I think that's really nice. I like that you'll be able to use all the wood that way, because you can put, instead of cutting it out of the center of the wood, you can put it right up in the corner. All right, and then I am going to cut this, so I want to choose laser flat. You have other options if you were doing a round object or a blade cut. I'm gonna cut these pieces out. So laser cut. I am using the 3mm basswood plywood. I have the triangular prisms to raise it up, and I want to cut. So then it highlights everything that's going to be cut out. And so then you're going to click process, and then you want to do some framing, which just means you click this and the machine just kind of frames up where the design is. So you push the button on the machine and it kind of draws around the design. Here, I'll show you. So here's my machine. So if I push the button on the front, you can see the machine inside just goes around where, draws around where the design is. And so now it's ready to cut, and so you would hit framing completed, and then you would click start. The software kind of counts down where it's at with the design. All right, and so now that the pieces are all cut out, I need to cut the base and score it. So I am going to go back and choose the one that has the with base. This pattern that I purchased on Etsy, it's set up so that you can cut it this way. So it just depends on what you're cutting, whether or not you would do this. Image. I need the sign with the base this time. And so there we go. So this is going to cut the circle, and then it will score all of these lines. So if you get off of it, see how I clicked outside of the square and now it's not highlighted anymore, and so if I try and click, it's going to click the individual items, which I don't want. So this select tool down here, you can select the whole thing again. Like that. So now we're back to how it looked. All right, and then this one is still laser flat. Still, I have another piece of the basswood in there. It's still raised up with the triangular prisms. This time I want to score all of this, and then I want to cut this. So first I'm going to score everything. So I've got all my stuff set up, and it automatically sets your things how you need at the levels you need them. So this is at 60% speed, 50% power, and it's going to do 1 pass. So then you would process and again do the framing. And then once your framing's completed, then you go ahead and hit start. So now it has finished scoring the design onto the wood. So now I need to cut the whole circle out. I just want this, and I want to cut. See how it made it purple? So same thing, you've already framed, so you don't need to do that again. So you can just skip. You would still hit process, and then you would just go straight to start. Okay, so I cut out the sign base, and you saw before I scored it, so I know where to put my design that I cut out separate, and I stained it with Jacobine, something like that, wood stain. And I have all of my little letters that I'm going to paint and then glue on to create the little sign. I mean, look at how good it does cutting out these letters, and they basically just pop right out of the wood. It's got little stars. And then I also have my plant cut out, which will go onto the wood. So let me show you. So I have started placing my elements on the sign, and I'm just using white craft glue, and you can see it here, but it will dry clear, so I'm not worried about that. And then it's kind of just like putting a puzzle together. So I've got the little leaves. I painted the outside lighter green, and then you just plop those into place. And then I'll start placing my letters. So I want to thank xTool for sponsoring this video. I've enjoyed receiving the product and getting to know it, and I can just see all kinds of possibilities with it. Home decor, gifts. I could make some things to sell in my Etsy shop. Many of the patterns that you can buy on Etsy, they allow you to resell the products you make from their patterns. I have all kinds of plans with this thing. Some dollhouse miniatures come to mind. I have a dollhouse. I also have a new, it's kind of a dollhouse that I'm planning on making over, and so I'm going to make some miniatures for it. I did put a link to their website down below, and also this specific tool that I received. Okay, they are an investment, but I could see making your own products and reselling them. You can engrave even on things like they have a circular uh, part that fits into the machine, so you can engrave things like metal travel mugs, coffee mugs, things like that, rolling pins, all kinds of things. I could see it paying off quickly, and it'd be a nice tool to have in your workshop. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, like, share, all the things. Bye.